Imagine being a teenager who can outsmart some of the world's top tech experts, crash PlayStation networks, draw the attention of Elon Musk, and trigger an international manhunt all before your 16th birthday. That's not some wild action movie pitch. This is the real life story of Julius Kivimaki. And the first episode of Most Wanted Teen Hacker dives headfirst into the dramatic, jaw-dropping saga of a kid who became Europe's most notorious cybercriminal. From the very first moments, the episode sets a furious pace. We see law enforcement officials, FBI agents, Finnish police, cybersecurity experts, and even former hacker associates, laying out a staggering rap sheet as a 15-year-old who hacked Silicon Valley millionaires, dropped entire global gaming networks, and even became a suspect after a bomb threat forced an emergency landing of a commercial jet. On top of that, he swatted multiple FBI agents and their families. That's right. He wasn't just hacking for bragging rights or tech curiosity. Kivimaki, with the handle Zkill, among a string of identities like Ryan C. and Ryan Cleary, seemed obsessed with chaos, humiliation, and sometimes straight-up cruelty. But before we paint Julius as a cartoon villain, the episode pulls us in for a closer look at what might have started it all. Growing up around Helsinki, Kivimaki was a computer prodigy whose skills quickly outpaced anything taught at school. He describes school as a waste of time. When his teachers started introducing English lessons, he was already reading novels in English. And so, the boredom pushed him online, where he found a home among underground hacker forums and groups with names that sound ripped from 90s movies. Places like Hack the Planet HTTP and, later, Lizard Squad. It wasn't just skill that made Kivimaki stand out, it was his motivations. And that's where the episode really challenges us. While many young hackers are driven by curiosity or a geeky sense of own-upmanship, Kivimaki and some like him seem to find excitement in causing harm. As one investigator describes, he enjoyed hurting or seeing other people suffer. It's a chilling detail. Hacking had shifted from exposing weaknesses to a game of infamy and escalation, 'cause more harm, get more respect. And Kivimaki played that game to the hilt. The story isn't told from just one side. We also meet Blair Strader alias 1000T, who was initially a friend and soon became Kivimaki's adversary online. Their dynamic shows just how volatile and toxic these relationships can become, one moment sharing jokes, the next launching attacks at each other. Both admit, in their own ways, that the early appeal of the scene came from sheer boredom and the promise of laughs. Doing it for the lulz was a kind of unspoken code. But while some hackers outgrew that phase, Julius dove deeper, with his stunts growing more dangerous and malicious. Authorities soon took notice. Special Agent Ryan Brogan, one of the FBI's top cybercrime investigators, tells us about the early days when Hack the Planet started breaking into major institutions, universities like MIT, government sites, and more. Kivimaki wasn't the top tech whiz, some insiders claim, but he was ambitious and reckless, often using threats or manipulation to get others to do the truly tough hacking. He didn't bother to hide his tracks much. Either he saved his IRC and chat logs, almost as if collecting digital trophies. The plot heats up in the summer of 2013, when the FBI learns that Kivimaki and other hackers plan to meet in Las Vegas for the legendary DEF CON conference. The feds see this as a golden opportunity to catch international hackers in person. They spring into action, securing a search warrant for a suite in the Bellagio Hotel, bugging the room, and tracking the suspects around the city. Julius, just 15, arrives in Vegas for what he thinks is an all-you-can-eat buffet of tech heists and American decadence. He uses stolen credit cards to order pizza, wings, even, allegedly, sex workers, completely unaware he's under intense surveillance. But there's a twist. One of Kivamaki's hacker friends, Starfall, has already flipped and become an informant for the FBI. She feels that Julius is getting famous at his group's expense and is happy to help the authorities bring him down. When the FBI finally raids the suite, Kivamaki brazenly admits to much of his activity. The agents have a rare mix of exasperation and astonishment, a 15-year-old with the nerve to hack the world and brag about it. Because he's a minor and a foreign national, extradition and prosecution get complicated. The FBI can't arrest him on the spot. They confiscate his electronics, question his parents, then let him leave. Kivamaki, unbothered, goes sightseeing. Back in Finland, though, law enforcement is now on high alert. The Helsinki police, working closely with the FBI, raid Kivamaki's family home just months later. Despite his attempted quick-thinking sabotage, cutting the modem to disconnect his computer, the authorities find hundreds of thousands of lines of evidence linking him to hacking, chat logs, and more. What stands out to investigators is not just the scope of his crimes, but the sloppiness with which he hoards damning data. It's almost as if he assumes he's untouchable. Here's where things take a hard turn into the grim reality of cybercrime. Kivamaki isn't just pranking people. He targets schools with bomb threats, forces a SWAT team deployments on innocent families, including the relatives of FBI agents. What starts as online drama escalates into invasions with real-life consequences, fear, trauma, and, in at least one documented incident, tragedy so severe that it leads to a loss of life. His arrest becomes an international effort, with Finnish police and the FBI collaborating, collecting evidence, and piecing together the web of pseudonyms and crimes. When Kivamaki is finally charged, the result is a shocker, at least by American standards. Despite being convicted of over 50 laws and hacks, as a minor and a first-time offender, he receives only a 2-year suspended sentence and never sets foot in prison. Even at 16, he seems unfazed, reading books in detention and dismissing the whole thing as barely a bump in the road. He goes free, but the world has already started to see the consequences of letting such hacking go unchecked. Episode 1 leaves us with a chilling portrait, a kid chasing excitement and sometimes revenge, enabled by global anonymity, and enabled, arguably, by a legal and social system overwhelmed by the scale of his actions. There are no easy heroes or villains, just a tangled mass of ambition, boredom, cruelty, and chilling innovation. The show hints that far bigger consequences still lie ahead. Kivamaki vanishes from public view, but his legacy is already reshaping how authorities, school officials, and everyday people think about digital security. As this thrilling first episode closes, the message is clear: the age of the harmless internet prank is over. If a teenager can shut down global tech and terrify institutions with a keyboard, what could come next? And that's it for our deep dive into episode 1 of Most Wanted Teen Hacker. What did you think of Julius's story so far? Did you expect the ending, or were you surprised by how he was handled? Drop a comment below, and let's talk about it. Be sure to hit that like button if you found this breakdown interesting. Subscribe for more in-depth recaps and explanations. And don't forget to share this video if you want to keep your friends safe online. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.